Okay, apologies for absence. Councillor Hart is unable to join us tonight, so he won't be joining. To approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Anyone got any comments or points?
Still have a problem with whether we approve the purchase of the camera. So I look back on the video from the December meeting, and it's very unclear as to whether we did or didn't do. It was spoken about, and it's very difficult to tell what the proposal was, whether there was a vote for, against, or anything.
So I looked back at the video.
I was also going to bring that up because I couldn't see anything.
So I looked back at the video. There was a proposal. There was a vote. 3 people on this side didn't vote. No one said that they wanted more time. And the recollection of the clerk and the chair are that there was a vote and we had a majority for it.
I'm sorry, I did say at the time I would like to see some votes and then discuss it again. The next meeting.
You didn't have any votes. You did mention it was £50.
Well, all I can say is that my recollection of the meeting fits the video. We did vote.
Can I just say, I'll donate for £50. Seriously, I'll donate.
We'd have to vote on that. So.
Well, can we have a vote on it now?
But the decision was made, and the recollection of the clerk, the chair, is that the vote was made and we had a majority.
But it wasn't in recollection of the clerk at the time because she wrote something different in draft.
I think it was a typographical error.
Surely, but we should have brought the cost back to council.
What cost?
Whatever a council cost.
We said that the cost was in the report. What's right here?
I've got to disagree with you. I think that it wasn't clear. I don't think there was a clear voting. I don't think there was a clear end result of that. And I think that we have to be absolutely, totally on board with when we're spending people's money, particularly as we put the precept on. I'm sorry, but I've got to disagree with you on that.
Okay, we disagree on status. Anything else? Okay. So, just updates from me. So, although it's not on the agenda, people have time after the meeting. It would be good to have 5 minutes to give you an update on the recovery of monies that we paid out for the fence. So I was also asked that if we can discuss partly by the lake, so I suggest we do that after the meeting. Apart from that, everything else I think comes up in the meeting. Okay.
Are we still on to approve and authorise the signing of the minutes?
I asked if there were any other comments, and no one said anything, so we moved on.
Aren't we having the vote whether we approve them or not?
Can do. Would you like to vote to approve the meeting?
That's what's more, isn't it?
We haven't done it before, but I'm sure we can do it. So, proposal is that we vote to approve the minutes of the last meeting. So, those people who would like to approve. He's voting for it. Anyone voting against? Okay. So, are we agreed there was a majority that the minutes are accurate?
We agree that there is a majority, so I think we'll vote.
Great.
That's right.
Thank you. Declaration of interest. Didn't have anything we would like to bring up, financial or otherwise.
So just one point, when we get to the thing about the electricity supply for the pavilion, I was going to put forward an offer. My domestic supplies with one of those providers, and I can provide a code which provides a credit to the parish council's account, but it would also provide a credit to me. And what I'm suggesting is that I would then donate that credit to me back to the parish council, so I wouldn't actually end up benefiting, but I would temporarily benefit. So I gave it.
50 quid.
It's £100 each, so it would be £100 to the parish council, £100 to me, and then I would donate £100 back to the parish council.
Is that one of these like kind of, you know?
It's just when I log into my account, it says if you refer a refer a friend, you share £100. If you refer a business, you share £200.
I can't see a problem, but I think I'd probably better to donate it to one of the things that the council is raising money for, rather than to the parish council. So rather than it going back to the council, it's back to something that we're working to raise money for, and then it's going in a separate direction.
Other than?
Well, of course, that would only be if we agree on that.
Other than, my thoughts on that is, even with the £100 and the £100, is it still going to cost us more money?
Well, we can talk about that when we get to that.
Because if it's going to cost us more money...
Okay, but that's... So,
I was going to say, I also want to talk to Clerk,
okay.
just to see that doing that is okay.
Fine, yeah.
If you do go with them.
okay. So just to declare his interest as well.
Okay.
You haven't made the decision.
Sorry.
Made that decision, then there's a
Yeah,
possibility you get to
it's a good offer
if that's where we go.
if that's where we go.
Anyone else got any interest they'd like to declare? Okay, so we're in the public forum. Does anyone wish to say anything?
Yes, Chairman. I've already heard you mention it, and you'll discuss it later on. I've come along to ask for permission to hold another party by the lake. We're looking at the 28th of June, and we could do with knowing, because we need to pay a deposit with the band fairly soon, so to secure them. And we are aware that you are looking for money, shall I put it that way, for a box for the defib to go outside, and we thought it would be a good idea if any monies raised would either go, depending on how much we make, if we make, could go towards or pay for that. It's of use to the whole village and gives a focus for the event. We just hope that we're not hit by poor weather or a football match as we were last year.
Yeah, I think we will discuss it. I'm not sure whether I can add it to the agenda. I will take that under advisement from the park during the meeting. But we'll come to a consensus either formally or informally, and if it's informally, we'll make it formal at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay. So moving on to, we have a report from our ward councillor, Councillor Haig. We seem to have sorted out the email address issues. So, first thing that Kate raises is obviously the Tapley Brook Bridge. So this is going to be discussed in the meeting generally, but obviously it does underline that what we heard from the engineer from Cheshire East when we went to the meeting on the bridge a few weeks ago is sort of confirmed that the bridge is unlikely to be reopened in time for the Cheshire Show, so there will be additional planning probably needed for that. Although to be fair, for the last 4 or 5 years they have managed to manage the cars around the show extremely well compared to when we first moved to the village, and they used to be at the end of our drive 2 days. So I think that's we'll discuss it later. And it seems like Kate's trying to get changes to the flexi bus. I think obviously we hear from Kate that the age limit has been lowered, and that can take the place of the bus, which no longer comes through Pickmere because of the bridge. Then we'll make sure that members of the village know. She also raises the HyNet local consultation, so that is a hydrogen pipeline. So the next meeting, the next consultation is already started and will continue to the 25th of February, so people wanting to make points on that should do that. So we also have a Sunnyside update, which I have to say I didn't understand what that was, but Nick informed me that he does. So Nick, could you just explain to us what that's
Yeah, so this was actually a few months back. A couple of local residents approached me about an old planning issue down on Sunnyside, towards that end of the village, and I said that the parish council had previously been involved and previously met with people. And one of the residents has got quite a file of documents about this, but didn't really have very much from the parish council. So I said I would try and find out what the parish council had done in the past and see what, if anything, we could do. It was just at the point where we were between clerks, I think. But I then more recently realised that we had access to the documents online, so I managed to find what there was from Pickmere Parish Council, which wasn't very much. And basically it's all actually a Cheshire East planning matter. So all I did was put the residents in touch with Councillor Haig. However, I accidentally, rather than providing them with her email address, I copied her into my email. So she has then been copying me into her replies. So I suspect that's why she's then included in the report to the council, but it isn't actually really a parish council matter as such. So.
So, in Kate's report, she just mentions that the enforcement did attend and there were no breaches, although there is an enforcement order on a smaller static.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time. They've asked the question many times, but as a parish, there's not much we can do.
Yeah.
And it's down to Cheshire East and enforcement to back off.
And then finally, there was a thing on gully cleaning. I did notice from Facebook that there seems to be maybe a slight misconception in the village as to what a gully is, because that's the bit underneath so it's the big hole underneath the grate. And I can confirm that Cheshire East were in attendance and cleared the ones on Clover Drive because I saw them do it, but it is not the gutter. So I think maybe some people thought they were coming to clean the gutter, but they're coming to clean the gullies. And I can't speak for the other roads, but I do know it happened on Clover Drive.
I think they did one on Merehaven.
Yeah.
Just
They told us that was the only one they were doing that day.
They did.
And I don't think they did anywhere else.
No, I think they did them on Clover Drive.
No, they did on Clover Drive, but I don't think
Anywhere else in the village, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
No. I just saw them when I was walking home for lunch. Okay, so that's everything from Kate. So we're on to finance.
Did anyone have any questions about the income and expenditure of January?
No.
Oh, sorry, I did actually want.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Geosphere Limited for maps, is that the
That was the parish online.
parish online?
Yeah.
So
So it went out and then it got refunded.
I missed the refund. Okay.
So
we did
later in the month.
I see. Yes.
it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
back.
16th of the 1st. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So you pay?
Did you get that payment from,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. I can't, oh, I can see it, sorry. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
we get our sticker for the green bin?
We did, it should be on the green bin, I stuck it on. Hopefully it's not been peeled off.
Because it says trade waste. What day did they collect trade waste?
I was assuming it would be the same as, I haven't been told any different than it's just a green bin. They haven't, they just said...
It's a different sticker.
Yeah, I think it was because I've had to go through a different route because this address wasn't on their system. So we've had to go through a completely different route where they invoice us for it. So I'm assuming that's why we've got a new
Cheshire East
sticker.
actually sent letters in, 120 Pickmere Lane, so... Obviously the bin is not on their system.
Fortnightly Friday. Or for us it is.
I can, if you'd like me to, I can email them just to absolutely confirm.
Well, I've put the bin out. It's out now for collection tomorrow.
So hopefully it gets picked up. But I haven't been told any different than it is just the usual green bin collection that they've... It's the same subscription that everyone else would have paid around Pickmere.
Easiest thing, see if it gets picked up tomorrow. If it doesn't, let me know. If it does, sit back and have a rest.
Cool. Anything else on expenditure income? No. So, what new payments do we have?
So the new payments, the main one there is the this light. So I know that you've mentioned about potentially having a light on the other side of the hall,
top of the key
for above
box.
the key box, yes, and whether you wanted that purchase.
So that's for this supply and install external lights, is it?
No, so this is on
Table 2, new payments.
Table 2.
All right.
And this is just like a little battery light that has a little sensor on it. So it's not going to be a powerful thing that,
I would say it's a good thing because we're struggling to get in it. You know, one of us having to...
I have to have a phone or something.
One of the ladies in the band has a pull-on hat with a light that she's on.
It's just in the winter, well even now it's just pitch black into it, you know, for anybody who's...
Does it turn on when you move up to it?
So it's supposed to be a sensor, yeah.
Yeah,
You can send it around to everyone. But
No, if it's a sensor, I don't think we should have it permanently over the
No,
box,
it's
that's
just
all.
it's a battery.
No, if it's a sensor, then I can't see a problem with
But
that.
it's solar powered, is it?
no, it's battery. So it's a little battery.
The alternative is to move the thing round where you can actually see it.
But we will advise that.
Yeah, I did want to, but the locksmith advised not to have it on show.
That's what I was thinking about the light, so if it's a sensor, then I can't see a problem.
It would be more expensive to move it than put a light on it. So, okay, so we're happy with going with the light. Sounds like a safety issue.
This one on the back is table 3.
Yeah.
It's a table 3. Does it want to put this table?
No.
You've missed bits off the top as well. You're missing the top bit. Hasn't printed.
Do you want mine? I don't mind if you want.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I think the
Did you print this?
no, I printed that.
Oh, okay.
It had a moment, the printer, where some pages didn't work for a second.
Right.
Can I grab your other one? The one that, just the one that you had.
This one's fully equipped with you, I think. And pass that around to Lucy.
It's all right, we can share.
That one works.
Sorry, just one question. Before we talk about this bit, should this not be in a part B if we're talking about quotes?
Indeed.
We not normally put that in part B.
Yeah.
Simon on can
Technically, we'll
We
be
haven't got a copy here, that's all.
can't really put the full spec in the statement.
Sure, the heating's on. She'll put the heating on.
It's going to be wooden.
I'm cold now.
So, I don't think we have a part B now.
No, I
No, we don't.
yes, so that's the closed section. Yeah. Is that something you want in everyone?
I think it's just, you did want to talk about the lake every meeting.
Oh yeah, that was the only bit we didn't. Yes.
So we'll keep in the closed section. Okay. So did you want to leave that until later then?
Which is already on the website, isn't it? It's already in the public domain.
Are you happy to?
Yeah, I think.
Perfect.
So my first question on all the quotes for services, are these already included in the budget? So there's anything on here that isn't budgeted?
Can I have, is that the spare one?
But, I think so one you put again.
Oh, that one, missing.
So, these are all, so in, as in, not on the budget because they haven't been agreed by yourselves. So these are quotes that I have got for certain things. So in terms of the gutters and things, we've had 2 quotes already previously, and then this is a third one that I've had, that one at the top. And then we've got handyman for a lot of the work that's done, and different electricians that are rated for various jobs. Then there are ones that I've had sent to me. So Steve, I contacted him for
Steve.
Steve Wilson. Hello. Hi. This is the quote that Steve's given me. And then I've got some others from some others. So it's whether or not you guys want to approve them, authorise them, and then I can put them in the budget.
I don't see a problem, but...
And which ones would you like? So in terms of the gutters, I know that we had slightly higher ones, so this is a considerably lower quote that we've had. This was, I think, did you give me?
Yeah,
Jim? Yeah. So this is Jim.
Would that be something we ought to discuss in a Part B, if we've got more than one quote for quite a...
Yeah, I suppose so.
If you want to.
The problem is we don't have a Part B.
I know, but we can make one, can't we? I just think if we've got 3 large quotes, we need to...
Okay, so let's take this and
Yeah, that's okay. The rest
discuss this before we afterwards.
Okay. Then are we going on to 7.4 was the energy plans. Again, did you want to talk about Part B, or are you happy to talk now?
Talk now because it's public money.
Yeah.
So I looked. So we got we get a quote come through from British Gas, and then you were saying about going with more greener energy providers afterwards, after we've come to the end of our plan. So looking into that, what's considered some of the greener ones are Octopus and Ecotricity. So those are quotes that I got from them.
Which one's yours then?
Should we come on to that?
Right, so
Yeah.
I was going to say, because there is a vested interest, maybe it's better not to
Okay.
discuss names. Let's just discuss costs and then decide which one we want, and then we'll do a big review.
Okay.
So could I say something about that'd be right. So the sustainability thing about our utility provider was part of our biodiversity policy that we adopted last year. It says that Pickmere Parish Council will source sustainable materials when procuring utilities and supplies for the council's use. So I think we are basically required to use renewable, sustainable British gas.
I think it's where possible.
Where possible.
And I think we have to make a decision based on both what we've agreed and cost, because we have a limited amount. And I think, no offence intended, Nick, but I think in terms of this, it's probably wise not to be part of the conversation, whatever the points.
Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry, not being.
That's fine.
I just want protecting you more.
But the policy doesn't say.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Bringing it up. But
it also doesn't say where possible.
Yeah, I know.
So Nick can be part of the conversation if we feel there's a conflict of interest and he may not be allowed to vote. But there's no reason why he can't speak.
No, but there is if you're focusing on a particular area.
Right.
And I'm just saying that I think we need to be careful with that.
Okay.
For Nick's sake. And it wasn't criticism, it was making a point. Protection of one of our councillors, which I think is very valid.
Simon, we've heard your point.
Thank you.
Just one point of clarity, the policy doesn't say where possible.
But I think we do have to weigh that up though.
I did the maths, I don't know if anyone else did the maths.
Yes. What did you use? 423 kilowatt hours?
Oh, I went off 450, I thought one of the quotes said 450, so I went off 450.
I've gone off the actual figures
Okay, great.
for the last 12 months for the pavilion. So the first one, it worked out at 383, the second one was 322, and the third one was 366, and off pennies for all of them. So I think the main difference is the cost per day that makes the biggest difference to it all.
The cost per day for
The standing charge.
Standing charge.
So what would the total fully burden cost be? What's the fully burden cost? How much is it in total?
For the year?
383, 322.
Okay, so this is the total, not just... Okay, sorry.
No,
This is the total for the year?
Yeah, everything in.
Just for the
Standing charge and usage.
yeah, given that over the last 12 months it's used 423 kilowatt
Can I just
hours.
ask you this, are these fixed contracts? Are they just 12-month contracts?
12 months fixed.
So they're all 12 months fixed? Bearing in mind that one of them we can get £100 back. Is that right?
Potentially.
Potentially.
But it does say business. Like we've just done the bit on the bins. We've suddenly, it's a business.
Okay, but if it wasn't...
It's
Class as business, then it's only 50 quid back.
Is it?
Well, it's 100 because Nick's going to... So, in that case, it doesn't matter which one it is, it's going to be cheaper.
It's going to be £100 cheaper.
No.
No.
Right.
We're dealing with the facts. You're just assuming Nick's going to give us the 50 quid back.
And that we'd get it.
And that you'd actually get it.
I think he's got a bit of an
Well, if Nick doesn't... Right, if Nick doesn't give the money back, Nick's in a bit of trouble. But if for any reason Nick absconds and doesn't give him the money back, and the police can't find him, then I'll make up the difference. There you go.
But I think the serious point is also what you're saying about the difference between whether it can be clawed back for business.
Because this isn't classed as a business, is it?
But
Well, then it's half.
the tariff is described as a business tariff.
Yeah.
So we could always make a decision on the proviso that when you sign up to it, they are giving you the money back, or not, if that's not what you want to go with.
For the rates, we don't pay business rates.
We're not classed as a business, because village hall isn't
Is it only business, Nick, it does it with? 100 quid?
It's 50, dear.
So
50.
Well, I clarify, the provider I'm with says that if I refer a friend, so a domestic person, then they would get £50 credit and I would get £50 credit and I would donate that. And if it is a business, then the business would get £100 credit and I would get £100 credit and I would donate that. So,
Either way, it could be.
so it's either £100 or £200.
It's a no-brainer.
But you,
We don't have to do
no, I
it.
was just saying, I bet we sit right in the middle of both of them.
Well, if you actually worked on the fact that it was only going to be 100 or 50, even only 50.
But it doesn't matter what it is. It was sort of,
And that's definitely for just a 12-month contract. Because we don't want to be getting tied up for
Yeah, because that could be an
5 years or
18-month
something like
contract.
that.
Okay.
And then the price is just going to
let's,
go up.
we could be here all night working on all the permutations.
Yeah.
So the proposal is that we accept the greener quote on the proviso that it becomes the cheapest quote with a subsidy back.
And a
that's all
12-month
confirmed.
contract.
Otherwise, we go with the cheapest quote.
And a 12-month contract.
It's a 12-month, they're all 12-month contracts. On a 12-month contract. Does that sound reasonable?
A lot of them, when they're doing that, friends and family will try and tie you into a longer
So we go with the green energy supplier on the assumption that we will get the credit back.
One
and therefore,
of the green energies.
Well, it doesn't matter which one it is, it'll still be the cheapest. And it will be the cheapest. If it turns out that we can't get that for whatever reason, then we go with the cheapest quote.
Although that would be a breach of our own policy.
It would. I agree with you, Nick.
I think as a parish council we're supposed to
I thought we'd already voted on this
do
last
something
year.
else.
No.
No?
Did we not?
No.
Did we not put that in the...
We did discuss it at the time of the...
Sorry, can you just, what were the three quotes again for the three?
So we have British Gas,
The price, sorry, the cost again.
Without the names.
sorry.
Yeah, for the
383, 322 and 36.
Pick the independent arbitrator with fully burdened.
383.
Yeah.
Yeah.
322
Yeah.
or 366.
You can assume that
They're all much of them.
Two of them
Can't
are
see them.
considered the green ones. So,
I can't see that as being a problem, what you propose. But I think the only thing maybe is, as I said, the
Standard money, isn't it, that you're supposed to
if you get it, has to be given not to the council but to one of the council things. I mean, maybe it could be donated towards the purchase of a defib box or something like that. But
It's a donation, isn't it?
Well, the
Yeah.
DP box seems to be getting a lot of donations. It's not going to be that expensive.
Actually, I don't see the point of saying it has to be donated to a thing.
I know, but they've already offered.
It can just be donated to the council and we can spend it at a future date on what we want to spend it on.
yeah,
Yes.
I just think it's,
I think so.
if it's targeted, it makes it a little bit more.
I think it just goes into the cost.
But, you know, I think that's a compromise. If we can get a proposal and second of which neither can be Nick.
For me, I'd like it to go back to the pot of that if it's going to...
Okay, we'll take that when we know we're getting it, we'll decide what we're doing with it.
Yeah.
But, as they say, right, we don't decide what we're going to do with the ball once you've got it. Okay, so can I have a proposer for the proposal? Seconder? Okay. So if we confirm that, and Nick, if you could abstain, please. So all those that are happy to go with the proposal, which is we go with the green energy option, assuming we get the refund because it will be the cheapest. If we can't get the cash back, then it will go with the cheapest available quote.
Yeah, and also that it's a 12-month contract.
But understanding that puts us in breach of our already democratically decided policy, and that we may need to look at that.
Everything's complicated.
Okay, right, so those are happy with the proposal?
I know I did. But then I realised, because I really want it to go green,
Okay.
really. I didn't, I get the whole, just, yes.
Are you green at home?
Best value for money.
Not yet, but I will be. I'm changing it.
So you are voting for?
What cost of product is that?
We can't do anything about it then.
Okay.
And that's none to it.
Alright, so, thanks. And then just, if I can request, based on the earlier conversation, when we do vote and people with their hands up, if they can do that.
I know, I'm sorry. I got one.
Okay, moving quickly on.
yes, so 7.5 was overtime. So this month I went over 35 hours. Just to kind of, I guess.
Well, you did take the invoicing on as well this month, didn't you?
Yeah, so there's, I guess, yeah, that is going to be something that is something that I haven't been doing. That will be, I guess, if it will be, yeah. And then there's also the matter of Pickmere Press. If that is something that the clerk usually does. I don't know if that is something in the past that one of themselves has done, or...
It was done, but I think it seems like you're using more and more, or there's more and more time on things that could be done by other people. So I think meeting contractors here, I'm happy to do, because I work in the village. I'm sure there are other people that are happy to do it as well.
Yeah, me too. I live in nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are happy for me to say, oh, can someone do this, please?
Yeah,
is that okay?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that Alison and Peter have met people before.
Oh, yeah.
I don't pick my press. In the past, when people couldn't do anything, I just sent a list of updates, like updates from the meetings. So again, for a short time, then give me a shout.
So it was 5 this month. 5 hours. It's one of those things. There's lots of things to do. So, you know, there was. I've just got the printer. You see, I went to get the printer off Amanda. So there's not been any invoices or anything printed since I think July. So it's stuff like that. That's just. Some of the things, yeah, it does just take time. There was HMRC, which they always sap your time, don't they?
The big paperwork coming down.
Give me a start on that one. Okay, all right, so what we'll do is try and help out. So when you're getting close to the end of your hours, this is what we can delegate around.
Then if you get stuck with the invoicing, if it's going to take your hours over, just let me know. I'll whack them out.
I did send you an email about your hours as well, about the training, because putting something in the budget about not coming out of the clerk's salary for training. We should put something in the budget to cover the salary for training. But if you're doing training, that you should get paid from the budget, not your salary. You see what I mean?
So allocating part of the training budget to your time done on training.
Yeah.
That's a big corporate idea, that is.
So mine.
It's just a different way of seeing it, that we're not
There should be something
using
in
the
budget.
clerk's hours
No, I get it.
for the job that she's employed to do.
Yeah.
On training.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No.
Well, usually I think in any company, your work hours are part of your training. So my contracted hours would be, that's when I would undertake training. It won't be on my own time.
No,
but it's just
Peter's saying you'd be paid for those
budget.
hours, but you'd just be paid from a different bit of the budget rather than from your. But that would then that's presuming that you want to do more hours above and beyond what you've contracted for.
Then the budget, we have to put the budget up to account for those hours as well.
But we're having to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Fine.
I don't.
It's just how we capture the data.
Yeah.
That training hours is separate than just hours for the clerk.
Maybe that goes into next month, so that we can do various.
Well, I think maybe we could have a chat with the employment committee.
Yeah, I would have thought they would usually just be in the my usual work hours back in the budget.
Okay.
Okay, planning matters. So we have 2 new ones. Looks to my learning colleagues on the left too.
Well, the first one is some work on some tree protection order, oak trees. I know nothing about trees, but it all seemed reasonable from what the application said. I couldn't see any.
Because normally, as a parish council, we don't comment on TPOs. It's left to the expert to decide whether what's been written is factual and that it's possible to do those things that people want doing or not.
That pen's gradually descending itself.
Okay, so we're happy with that one?
No objection. No.
No comment really.
No, I don't think we should really comment. It's not something that's happened in the past that I know of anyway, when it's come up.
No, it hasn't.
No,
Not like,
no, I can't remember it.
Okay, and then we have Highgarth.
Go on, Peter.
I'll let you cover it.
Where's Highgarth?
Highgarth is if you go past the farm club, it is the second house past the entrance to the farm club.
Third, actually.
Yes, I know.
Third.
Yeah, third one.
Yeah. Let's see.
The one that's had that sort of extension with the wood.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that's where the name comes.
There was a lot of problems with the original planning.
That was.
So they basically are applying to have a 3-car garage, but with a room above for use as office stroke playroom, I think, and then solar panels on the roof.
Yeah.
And a couple of, what do you call those windows? Dormer windows.
So on the, as you look at the building, it's on the left-hand side, is it?
If you're at the road looking at the building, it's on the left-hand side at the edge of their plot there, with then 2 dormer windows that would look across the front of their house and their sort of front garden area.
But the original planning application was for a small building.
Yeah, it was.
And this is a bigger building, and it's, say, small house size.
The three-car garage is huge, isn't it?
It is.
And to have them upstairs as
The
well.
one with all the wooden panels, where they converted their garage into a room.
Yeah.
As you're going down, it's on the left-hand side.
Well, past the post office.
No, you go past the farm club,
Going to front
Oh,
way.
the
yeah.
bungalow, the cottage, and then it's down.
Oh, right, okay, so,
On the way to Brook.
Ryder's own bungalow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
It's a big old unit they're applying for, isn't it?
Yes.
And there's already something they've built out the back.
Oh, they've got a big shed out there.
yeah.
Huge shed.
And
That caused a lot of controversy with the neighbours. Yes, it did.
Because I mean, this is
And it's
gonna, if
actually
it's built there,
it's green belt as well. That,
Yeah.
if it's built there, it's literally going to block any view from the neighbours into over the garden.
I think the parish council in the past objections to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to put it, so right up to the bungalow where they wanted to put the garage.
Well, I think as you go in, it's on the left-hand side, so it's going to literally plonk itself. The end of there, as the drive goes in, and the neighbour's house is.
But it's practically on the edge of the highway.
Yeah, I'm going to say it will be.
Just the other side of the hedge.
Yes.
So it totally alters the street scene and the openness of the plot
Yeah.
being green belt.
And how does it affect the neighbours? Because they're going to have a
Exactly.
big walls.
Well, they'll be caged in on both sides, won't they? That side and that side.
They have.
It's not actually very near to the next door house. There's quite a lot of next door's garden between them and
I
it.
think there's already there's a big unit though gone at the back of the house that's actually.
That's probably more of an effect on the next door
Oh, it
neighbour's
is.
view, but it's already there.
Yeah.
But this is actually building forward off the building line of the property, which
So is there anything we'd like to do?
Yeah, that's the part to look up whether she had any or could find anything that the parish council had objected to in the past.
And I think they did object to the 2 houses that were put on the end of the road there, the 2.
Oh yes, they did. Yeah.
So they objected to those by virtue of the fact that they were on green belt, that they were blocking, etc. So I mean, is this a similar thing? Is it going
Well,
going to
Parish Council did object to this one at Highgarth as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, is it a repeat of the objection?
Yeah.
But just the fact it's also bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is the two that were built, the two new ones that were built, one of them actually comes right forward to the road, doesn't it?
It does.
So
But there's a house in between
Oh,
that.
there is. Well, yeah, I mean, that's...
No, I mean, I'm just saying that's
Well,
just looking back.
that's not a consideration in planning.
No. That's not where.
Each one is totally individual.
It's been dwarfed, that property.
I mean, I think if there's been an objection before and then they're reapplying for something that's bigger,
Very similar, or bigger.
then
There was always a garage there.
yeah, but it was only 1 story high.
Yes,
and
it
it was
was.
only a single
That's
garage.
part of the house, the little garage.
That's right. But I think they did have a...
There was a building.
There was a building
on
there.
that site.
There was a building at the front, definitely. I think it was
It's in their
another...
application.
No, that
It's on the
I
site.
thought that
belonged to the
garage, that was a garage.
No, I
which
don't think it
belonged-
was. I think it was when...
It's in their application. There was a building on the
There
same
was-
site,
there
but a
was-
smaller building.
There was. It was like a 1-storey garage where 1 car would have gone in. Almost like a big shed, really.
I don't know. I just think
It was there years ago.
I think it's been objected to before.
Yeah.
Saying we should be objecting again on the same grounds,
and the fact it's a
that it's a lot bigger
Well, it could end up
as a house.
as a house, couldn't it? Yeah.
It's 6 metres plus high. But the drawings aren't particularly clear, but it's quite a sizable beaver.
There is something that you can actually put in, isn't there, about future development of that particular one if you get permission. That you can say, you can stipulate that it doesn't ever get converted into a house, into a dwelling.
That's a condition.
That's a condition. So we could always do that.
I mean, there's a couple in which you might get there that started out as garages that have ended up as houses. Exactly. Yeah.
It's got
You can't compare it.
If I find that we haven't commented on it or haven't objected in the past, yeah.
I think if it was just a single story, it'd be a different thing. You know what I mean? But I think the fact that it's a double story, I think that.
But just looking at it, I mean, I was just saying when you look at it, it looks like it could be converted into a dormer.
Yeah, dormer.
Across the top of the garages. I mean,
That's right.
where's the next step? Is it going to be converted into living accommodations and be converted into a B&B?
That's what you're saying, you can actually put a stipulation on, can't you, that it shouldn't be converted.
On the planning authority.
The planning authority.
Yeah, we can.
We can't do anything.
No, but they can.
Okay,
You can ask them.
so
You're almost giving them planning permission
Okay.
to go ahead with that.
So just to bring this to a close, so the proposal is that the clerk looks to see if we've objected in the past and raises similar objections.
Except add an addition that is actually
It's a lot bigger.
bigger than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
And we want to request that it has a
Conditions, but
restriction.
restriction on
That it's not returned into a house.
garage. And that they supply a suitable amount of green charger points that Nick's so keen on.
I think the environmental.
Does it? Okay.
Okay, and then just the last one, which was decided, was the discharge of condition 3. I don't know what condition 3 was. Which we've discussed that.
Is that something we
But nothing we can do about it anyway.
No.
Just to note it.
Okay, so that's noted. Right, actions from previous meeting.
So yeah, so the tree is currently still scheduled. The tree works where they were going to get felled and then left for dead wood. That's still planned for the 18th.
This is the one between, on the edge of the Iros. Is it behind Jacob's Way? That one there.
I was leaning over onto residents' lawn. The garden waste is now done. Should hopefully get collected tomorrow. Is it not leaning?
It's leaning, but it's not over as well.
No. So yeah, so just about the gutters really, the main thing is quotes really. Getting authorisation to go ahead with it, with some of them. Installation for the hive on the 20th of February. So I don't know if you would like to meet with.
Yeah, I'll meet. On the 20th?
Yeah. The defib again, that's part of the quotes. Yeah, things are completed.
So, probably mention on the yellow lines, I haven't had an update from Cheshire East Highways on their latest iteration plan. So,
Well, we need to, once we've got those, I guess we need to organise
yeah,
a public meeting for all the residents to be able to see them.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Because then there's the consultation period.
the consultation is not ours,
No,
but we will make them available to residents, and we will hold, not surgeries, but whatever we called them last time, so people can come look at them. And we're also meant to contact the other parish councils and consult with them. But obviously we can't read it until we've got the new updated. I think it's good that they extended the budget into next year, but it's also, I think, taking the focus off getting it done. But I will follow up again by email. Okay. Then we go on to reports from Clerk and Councillors. So first up, Nick, your report on the bridge.
Well, then we've got two reports on the bridge, haven't we? We've got my report about signage for the bridge from Prog Lane, and then we've got Peter's report about the actual bridge. Where do you want me to start?
Yeah, your first up.
So I circulated the report when I sent it to the highways. It's not the highways team, was it? He's the bridge coordinator for Cheshire and stuff. And as I'm sure a lot of you noticed, I've noticed that driving in from down that road, there's a little bit of signage at that junction, and then absolutely nothing until you come around the blind bend, and you've got, I think I worked out about, was it 50 metres or 30 metres, and then there's signs all the way across the road. I went through the signs at the Windmill Junction are now lying flat on the ground, so there's now no signage at all until you come round the blind bend.
They've been picked up.
Have they? Yeah. Oh, great.
I came back by there tonight.
Oh, right, good. Okay, so they are now. But even so, it's totally inadequate, and remains inadequate despite us raising it, and that gentleman saying that he'd raised it as well.
Yeah, and it was raised with him at the meeting on the bridge.
Yeah. So, I mean, my proposal would be that we have a vote in the council, raise it with Cheshire East again, because I think it's really quite dangerous. People go down that road well above 40, 50 miles an hour as they hit that bend, and then suddenly the road is closed with signs right across it. It's potentially...
Well, actually, on the day it happened, I came back from Derby, and yeah, my brakes did work really well. I had at least 2 centimetres.
Yeah.
I think we just don't need to vote. We just need to write and say, can you do something?
Well, yes, yeah. The other part of my report, I guess, talked then about Frog Lane, which, if you've been down there recently, is now even worse than it was then. Obviously, at that point, there was also a road closure on Budworth Road because they were digging up a water main. So all of that traffic was being diverted down Frog Lane, and obviously Frog Lane is not really designed for 2 cars to pass each other, so lots of cars have gone onto the grass verge, and some of the divots in the grass verge are now deeper than a tyre.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to lose their axle on one of those. And I think Cheshire East need to, having formed the diversion down a single track lane, need to now come and sort out the problems that have been caused by that.
So that was something the engineer brought up. This is not the diversion. The diversion is down the 556.
No, but there was a diversion sign when Budworth when Budworth Lane was closed. That was the official diversion at that time. So it isn't now, but it was then.
I think that diversion may have been from the closure of Budworth Road.
That's what I mean.
Rather than the bridge.
Yes,
It wasn't from the bridge.
No.
It was from the.
But either way, Cheshire East have sent a diversion down a road that wasn't suitable, and it's now dangerous to drive down that road because of the effect of that.
Well, there's the diversion. Remember, they did the end of Clover Drive, and we had ice, and they sent everyone down Frog Lane again with no gritty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. There was these 2 cars I saw in the ditch.
Interesting, that would have been the road that 120-bit lorries would have gone down and had HS2 down Frog Lane. Very suitable, wasn't it? Well planned.
So is that we basically demand Cheshire East come and sort out the problems they've caused on the verges there before someone loses a car.
They have done it 6-7 years ago. They came and sorted out the verges when something similar happened.
Right.
And they just smoothed it over. They didn't really do anything more, but yeah, they do need to come back. But
if someone comes off the edge now, they are going to.
But that's the trouble. It was something similar that happened about 6-7 years ago, and they came and levelled it all off, but they just leave it again.
I think if a heavy vehicle comes down, you know, it's when 2 people are trying to just keep coming.
Yeah.
And so then one goes.
Yeah.
The whole bank could actually go from the side of the road into that ditch.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually
like has happened on Can Lane.
Yeah. If you actually got a vehicle that's big enough, and there's still a lot of big vehicles going down there.
Yeah.
Well, they're towards the top, aren't they?
Yeah.
Going into the farm, but they don't tend to go any further than that.
But there's lots of big vans, even just like a Mercedes van. You know, all these delivery drivers, they're all storming down, aren't they? So
you still get big HGVs going to, is it Frog Lane
Farm?
Farm, I mean, Frog Lane Farm. You still get some.
They go in and out of there. But yeah, it does need commenting on.
So we can do that. I mean, I think also, I think it might have been Alison mentioned it to the engineer. It would be much better if we had a pseudo one-way system.
Yes.
So what I hadn't realised till I went to the bridge is that you can actually get down through to Neighbourhood Lane.
Yeah.
But all the signs go all the way back to the Wincham crossroads.
Yeah, they do. It's ridiculous.
So a lot of people didn't realise you could go onto the 556 Thursday Lane.
Yeah.
So I think again that should be the way out towards Manchester, and then Frog Lane should be the way in, because there isn't anywhere else to go. Or the Budworth Road Loop is.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm
Probably better, really.
That's what I'm going to do, because Frog Lane is too dangerous now. Because if you just come off the edge,
that's the safer route to actually go round past the entrance to Arley.
Yeah.
And past Budworth.
So could you write highways? And, I just think that, and it was mentioned in the meeting that starting at the Black Greyhound crossroads,
yes,
the road closed, is really confusing.
Yeah.
And I know one of the farms who sells eggs is selling less eggs because nobody thinks they can get down to the farm, although they can.
Yeah.
So it is affecting business as well.
And do know that Kate has been talking to Cheshire East about it, so maybe it's worth dropping Kate a line as well.
Yeah, let's copy her in, it's a good idea.
They can ignore us all. Okay. So, if you're happy with that, there's something you want to add about the meeting on the bridge?
Well, everybody's seen it's all been talked on, and I'd only be going over what
well, I think,
already read.
I mean, the only thing I took away from that, because I know nothing about bridges, is just the amount of work it takes to fix that bridge. So they'll have to dam the river, they then have to put a pipe in to move the water around where the dam is, they have to wait for it to dry out, and they can build this big pipe in Germany apparently, and just slide it in. and it's really, really expensive, and Cheshire East probably won't pay for it.
It's going to be a year.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's not. Unfortunately, he's moving on. He's going back to motorways. It's much easier.
What, highways?
Yeah.
The guy who's in charge, the engineer was really good,
Yeah.
but he's unfortunately leaving.
They move on quite frequently.
Well, I think he's been there 10 years.
10 years, he said.
Wow, that's a good luck. That's good.
Yeah.
It's the highways man.
The other thing that
The guy who's taking over has also been there 10 years. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, wanted to stay for 10
So
years.
he knows all about it. And
The other thing that did come out of that, though, was having a meeting somewhere to invite local people from Tabley, Winsham and here and Pickmere. And Ian said that he would come and do a presentation and talk and explain to people what is happening, how it's going to go. And I've contacted the 3 clerks and they've all said yes.
Yeah.
Their councils and their residents would be interested in such a thing. So if we want to go ahead with that,
Well, we can do, I guess it'd be his mate now. I'm sure
Well,
the
yeah.
month must be up. But
Is he leaving?
I think people
Yes,
will still be
yeah,
interested.
back to motorways.
yeah, but he did say he would hand over to him and he would still come and, if he couldn't do it. So
Okay, so
she'll, Lucy and I liaise with each other over that.
yeah, let's see.
Wincham,
Yeah, I was going to say we should
Big room.
better.
Although I don't know if it's going to add anything that we already
No.
no,
don't
but
know.
No, but it's
The
letting
residents-
the residents know.
as to why it's taking so long
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what needs to be done.
and to try and quell some of these awful questions and comments that keep coming out.
Oh, which are these?
I don't know. On Facebook.
It's that room, isn't it?
I think a lot of people are glad it's closed. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm not.
Could I just raise one other point about this? Because Councillor Haig in her report mentioned that the engineers have decided this is not linked to overweight vehicles
Yes.
driving over the bridge.
Yep.
I mean, surely that's rubbish.
No, he was.
No, no,
He was
no.
adamant.
Adamant that
Really?
yeah, the bridge
Gross
has a
120.
limit of 44 tonnes.
Okay.
The problem is what we come back to every single time about that road and HGVs is the fact that they will not accept that HGVs and overweight vehicles are using it unless you have the evidence for it. So basically what you've got to do is go out and film every single one that goes along
we
it.
did raise that with him, and he said even if it was the highest weight on that's possible on a UK road, which is apparently a European weight, it still wouldn't do it.
44 tonnes.
And I think probably
That bridge is strong enough to take
Yeah.
that sort of
Yes.
vehicle.
Yeah.
But
One of the things is the water erosion underneath,
Yeah.
because
I think-
one side of it has had buttresses put on at some point, but the other side hasn't, and that's the side where it's all started to fall.
and probably when it flooded and then froze, that was the final
Just split it.
straw.
Split it, yeah.
And I suppose we were lucky that the guys from Lawton saw it,
Yeah.
and they obviously know they knew the significance of what they saw, which is vital. It would be like another pothole.
That's a very deep pothole. It's
Oh,
not even worse.
it's a
than
serious pothole.
I walked down, we walked down earlier this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone.
And it's gone even worse. And you know the crack in the side? It's actually done that shifted.
It will do. It will do.
It's like a stool.
And just one other update. Sorry, there's the potholes on Flitgate Lane.
Yeah.
So where the farm is,
Yeah.
Flitgate Farm.
Yeah.
So there's on the as you're going from here out, on the first bend there are 2 potholes, and then on the second bend there's another pothole. So somebody had already reported them, but I then reported
Yeah.
the second pothole.
I'll fix my street.
Yes. So I've had a response to that today to say within 5 working days they're going to be fixed.
Oh, cool.
And the same on the Woodworth Road, the traffic lights on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
When
same
you're coming
then.
up, if cars are waiting, all on the side,
Yeah, yeah.
huge potholes again on that side. And they've all been reported on Fix My Street.
Great.
So
They're all lost.
it's a daily occurrence.
Yeah.
Somebody else has reported it. But
Unfortunately for Cheshire West, they don't subscribe, and there's some huge ones going down to Northwich now. Okay, the next is the update from the neighbourhood plan.
Did you want to know about the surgery? I thought that was...
No, that's 10.4. Wait for it. Okay. Neighbourhood plan update.
We couldn't have a meeting. It had to be cancelled because I'm afraid one of our team threw herself at the snow. And so that was cancelled. We've got our next meeting coming up next week. And we received notification on the grant that it expires on the 31st of March. And if we had been awarded the grant, had we gone for it, we couldn't have used the grant money to pay for the website, because the website renewal is in April.
Okay. So the grant we discussed in the meeting wasn't applied for, is that what you're saying?
We did apply for it, yes.
What's that meant to come to council for review?
Lucy sent it off because we'd only got a couple of days. That was the one I sent with 4 emails with a copy of it. 4 attempts to send it, and it wouldn't.
So in a meeting it was agreed that you would send to me to submit it, which is what happened. But it's...
You submitted it?
We can't use it for... You can only use it for things, for things before
the 31st of March. That's when it expires.
Not for things that we're using it for.
Because we had to itemise, I had to itemise everything that we would be using the grant for. Because it was a detailed application. So it was all itemised, and then they replied back and said, well, no, you can't. You can only spend up to the 31st of March.
We couldn't have paid early.
No, unfortunately.
That would be fraudulent.
It would.
No, it wouldn't be fraudulent. You could just pay in advance, and it would still fall within the payment period.
And then just the other thing about the website. So my thought on that is, because until we swapped Clerk, I didn't really understand how our website worked, but there is a page on the website, on the council website, that we can use. And there's obviously information submitted by the council representative to the clerk can put it up. So I don't think going forward we need another website to pay for. Would be my thought.
We have started pushing it out more and more, and a lot of other neighbourhood plans do carry their own website, and they do have their own website, because at least we can update as and when things happen.
But we have a page on our website as a council that material goes on and has gone on historically.
I'll take it back and discuss it with the team of the working group.
Okay.
I do think that being on the neighbourhood plan both before and after this before and during this council, many places do have the council website with links to some of the stuff that's going on with the neighbourhood plan. So there's a general overview for the parish council site, and then the neighbourhood plan has its own one where there's a lot more information for people to look at. So they're running side by side. Because obviously things change, things update, and some of the stuff that you put onto the neighbourhood plan website you wouldn't necessarily want on the parish council one, not because of the content, but just in terms of being dodgy. It's because there's more content put onto the specific website, more information, whereas the parish council website is more specific and more focused.
How did you run it?
We didn't actually get to that point of having, we just opened up the page initially, and that was going to be a discussion ongoing, but obviously changed council. So.
Well, all I can say, it has been raised by residents that there is a perfectly useful Facebook page, perfectly useful page on our website.
Oh, there is, and that should be updated.
Another one.
That should be updated, but we do need.
Okay.
So what platform is the parish council website on?
WordPress.
Is it?
It's very simple to use.
It's one of the things we were on. I did a webinar today on neighbourhood planning and the effects of the changes in government that are going to have on neighbourhood plans, and that was one of the things that they were actually stressing, that the most important thing is your communication, and having a platform where people can use it, access it, write on it, do whatever,
That isn't Facebook.
that isn't Facebook, basically.
But that's,
Or Facebook post.
But
they can use our website, that's my point.
you can't, I can't do anything on the website.
No, but you can send the stuff to the clerk and the clerk can upload it. Or
But that is the
we
whole-
can get to a stage where I can upload onto it. Maybe you can upload onto
But
it.
we've already discussed the clerk's hours. So.
Like it sent to me, then I'll upload it. I don't mind.
I'll discuss it with the working group and we'll come back with what we think or feel.
Is there any reason why Alison, or whoever is, I suppose, you don't necessarily want a non-councillor from the neighbourhood planning group?
Well, that was Amanda's point. This is what we've done in this situation in the first place. Is Amanda only wanted information from councillors, not from residents, and that seemed to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't think the solution is getting another website when we've got one that perfectly functions. Personally, we could have a vote on it, but and we said we do it for a year on the understanding that a grant would be applied for, and then that would fund it.
So, sorry, are you going to be coming back to council with a specific proposal to do that, or is this the proposal? Is there going to be a vote
I
in the
want to
future
speak
on
to
it?
the rest of the working group.
Okay,
Their
and then come back
as well,
with a
yeah, and then-
proposal with costs and all of that usual stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Wincham do? Do they have a...
They don't have a neighbourhood plan.
They don't?
No.
But it's all the changes to the NPPF that have come into force, that all those councils that have got neighbourhood plans that are over 5 years old,
They're all having to redo.
they're all having to be reviewed because of the changes.
No, we don't have one, so it won't affect us.
No, but we need
No,
to then revisit ours again.
Okay.
Because of the changes, the planning changes that have been put forward.
It's quite a lot, quite a few.
Well, as I said, we can bring it to council. Personally, I need to be convinced, but I will look at the information when it arrives. Okay. So next on our list is maintenance report.
Right, completed since the last report, the gents urinals, the fire extinguishers serviced at the pavilion and the village hall. And at the village hall, the hedges have been tidied up and more bulbs were planted again. Buttercup Way, we cut some of the trees back and cleared that land where Chris had cut it, all his down, and planted more bulbs. And Clover Drive has had more bulbs. And the lake, Peter and Peter.
Is the badger enjoying all these bulbs? So
I'll kill him.
No, because they won't walk on open land.
Pardon?
They don't tend to walk on open land.
What?
The badgers.
He enjoys the end of Clover Drive.
Yeah.
I've seen him there.
I've got on video. Pops around that place all the time.
Peter and Peter Jackson, thank you very much Mr Jackson, have been down and cleared the drain into the lake again and really rodded it out and it was all flowing very nicely. What we still have requiring to be done is the hand wash, the water heaters in the pavilion, in the ladies and the disabled room. Kitchen door cupboard, fire door to be repaired as well at the pavilion. The kitchen cupboard door in the kitchen here, and then we were still waiting for the smoke detector inspection.
You're looking at me, Peter?
Well, I thought... that was-
Oh, I did, yeah, I have
if
spoken
the fire brigade was going to come out.
Yeah, but it's not
Are
that.
they coming?
No, sorry, I'd forgotten about that. Yes, I sent an email and I did get a reply and I just can't think what it was now. It just seems to
Never
be
mind.
ages ago. But
Never mind, it's
yes,
still,
I did.
it's still there.
We have,
We can still...
it is in now, yeah.
Could we get the fire safety officer to come and talk to the Warm Wednesday group, and while he's here, have a look at...
Now that wouldn't be a bad idea. But I've been trying to get this guy
Hey,
for a
Dr. Benson,
while.
you can talk to us.
Well, you can do that, yes.
I have
But I
been
just think
trying
that
to get-
the fire service may be more interested in targeting people who come to the...
Have we got any smoke detectors in here anymore?
No, we haven't. We had to take them down, it was there.
No,
Oh, have we got one in the kitchen?
no,
No,
And we've got none in...
it kept going off.
Kept going
Well,
off.
there
Well,
hasn't
did
been
it
one in the
under the
kitchen.
mat? Or was it one of
before.
those What's it one?
But it was going off all the time.
Okay, so can we expedite
I'll have
this?
another go and try and get them out. I definitely.
Thank you.
No, it.
Couldn't we just get some?
What, sorry?
Couldn't we just get some some smoke detectors and put them up?
They used to give them free of charge, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, it was just advice as well, actually,
Yeah, but
on various things that we've got.
Yes,
I think it's
about
still
how many
important.
people you can
Yeah,
get.
there was all sorts of questions I wanted to ask them on safety issues. And
oh yeah, I think we still need to get them in, but
Right.
surely we could get a couple of smoke detectors and slap them up.
Okay. Well, let's see what we can get with it, with expediting.
Expediting.
And then
I'll try,
if
yeah.
we can't get them to come soon, then I agree with Simon, let's buy
Could we say that if they've not come by this month, that we
Yeah.
put it on the agenda to get a couple and put them up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Would that be okay, Chair?
I think he said yes.
Yeah.
We put it
Say yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
And then we've got the guttering that looks as if it might be progressing further. And we've done further tidying of the hedges to remove some of the ivy and get rid of some of the dead leaves as well. The Buttercup Way, what we would like to do there is continue clearing the rest of the area and cutting back the trees when the weather improves and before the birds start getting in there as well. And in line with our volunteer policy as well, I've had 3 more people come to us and up to me and asked if they could be part of the team. They want to volunteer to do something. So in line with the policy as well, I'm coming back to council now to say, are we okay to continue with this work down Buttercup Way, because any volunteer work has to have council approval.
So, on that point, I have been contacted by a couple of residents who raised a concern about the clearing of Buttercup Way and asked whether that contributed to the flooding, which was unique. They also raised a point that there's no point in planting bulbs if they get submerged in water.
There's no bulbs planted there.
Just bulbs planted.
Yes, but not in that particular bit.
No, not the flooding bit. Okay. And also, I think just a concern around habitat, so that it has been cleared. It hasn't been made neat. So everything was stripped off. So their
That
concern
wasn't
is
something that we did.
okay.
A resident.
A resident did that.
That was Chris.
Yeah, a resident did that and cleared all that and left it lying and we tidied it up.
Okay.
So
So as long as we're not stripping,
the rest wants pruning.
What? Yeah, the rest of
if
the
we're
models.
just tidying, that's fine.
Yeah,
And I think actually,
And what we
I agree with
actually-
the comment. It does look better,
yeah.
but the residents that spoke to me are concerned about the stripping of the land back to earth,
That was not us.
removal of habitat and flooding of the.
I think to get into his hedge, in all fairness, he probably had to do that. I mean, it obviously, those trees, there's no two ways about it, has contributed to his fence collapsing.
No, I get that, but
And
you don't need to
you
strip
only-
it back to bare earth.
Yeah.
I don't know
Get two
why half the earth seems to have disappeared.
Okay. But
We
then,
could do with some more. I was wondering whether to suggest putting a plea out to anyone if anybody's digging the garden and got any spare topsoil.
I'm just wondering what's the now it's cut back and it's going to be further cut back. What is the plan? Just I've always thought it would be lovely that is part of the route to school.
Yeah.
And I always thought it'd be lovely if we can involve one or more classes at Wincham Primary in planning part of that, almost as a sort of, wildlife project for them or something, if there's a teacher over there who might be interested. Because several of the children walk past it every day. I think it'd be really nice if it could be a...
What I've started doing as well is seeing how, because of course we haven't got any money at all to spend on it, that's not the point of doing it, was looking at grants, because there are a lot of grants that are available for that sort of area, for green spaces in parishes where volunteers can actually go and do the work. People have suggested to me that we have a herb garden
Okay, yeah.
things like that.
I like the
You've got
idea.
the wildflower patch up at the top.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're going to come through.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't, that was cleared, and then wildflowers put there. And then around the trees, again, we put bulbs and wildflowers around the existing trees there.
Yeah.
But there is that big broad bit at the back of Chris's house
Where
that
it's
does need
flooded,
some,
so that-
that does need something doing. And that was why I'd gone to these people to see if we can get grants on what is available there. And also outside Hass's house. That actually is ours as well. We've planted bulbs and we've cleared a little bit of that, but we do need shrubs and things going in it. So that is something that, yes, we could take forward and ask the school.
If you go to Lion Salt Works, they've done that butterfly garden, haven't they, which looks also really, really lovely. I mean, really lovely.
So I think
If you go down
we did do it as
there,
a school project. I'm sure I can get funding for that.
different flowers obviously attract different.
So that sounds to me like a good idea.
Yeah.
Get the kids involved. Because we need to do something with that bit of bare earth now.
Oh, that was going to be the same thing. How can we fill that? It needs filling with topsoil.
Okay, I'll get some topsoil.
Didn't rather rain with it.
How would we fund the topsoil?
How we what?
How would we fund the topsoil? It's damned expensive.
I can get funding for that, though.
Right.
Which is a kids' project.
If we did it as a school project.
Yeah. Well, I'll contact them and ask them.
Be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously saying that would be good to get some costs as well. So I don't know how much topsoil costs, but and how much you'll need.
40, was it 40 a tonne, something like that?
More than that, no.
Yeah. Oh yes, it was 120, wasn't it, for 2 bags? That was, yeah.
And then, as we're going on to Clover Drive, the other thing we discussed in a previous meeting was trees. So I had a count, there's now 10 trees on top of Clover Drive that have been removed. And we said that we would get some replacements as part of our policy, as per the tree surgeon's recommendation. You said you had some big trees.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, I mean, I can dig them all out.
Excellent. So.
Do you want me to get them all ready then? I can get them all out. Yeah. I mean, the only thing is with an oak tree is
Slow growing.
Yeah.
But also it's the what they end up at. I mean, but you can have some by all means.
Well, I mean,
even if we just put a couple in.
Other trees, but we do need to.
What you don't want them is too close to the road where they're going to become a problem eventually for anybody.
Okay.
Have I finished now? No, I haven't, I'm sorry. It was the fire door here on the maintenance thing where the gutters are leaking. It was just to say, we need to have a look at that because if we don't do something soon, it's going to warp and then the fire door won't work.
If we replace the gutters, then the problem goes away.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing that in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I just raise one point which is slightly tangential to this, but it relates to the clearance of the drain down on the Iros into the lake? Because I'm really concerned that, Peter, having cleared it recently, it's filled up again, and then you found a half brick in there?
I thought it was a stake, but it's only when I took the photograph and put it on.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed hold of it and it was a brick. House brick.
Which means someone's put that in. That's not because the thing's
not floating up, is it?
No, exactly. So I'm just a bit concerned that if someone's doing that, presumably it's kids. I'm just a bit concerned that there's this pretty large heavy metal drain that kids can just access on our land. And I wonder whether we should have that section fenced off. Now, Now, okay, we're not going to put a security fence that no one's a breach, but, at least if we fence it off, we are demonstrating that this is not an area that people should be walking, rather than it just being open and anyone can wander across it. And the other thing is whether we need to speak to, is it United Utilities who actually own that or whatever? Should that grate on top be actually locked in place? So that United Utilities can access it, but some poor kid can't access it and get stuck in there. It's just a bit of a concern.
It's the pressure and the volume of the water though that lifts it.
Yeah.
If that was locked
If it
on,
was locked, where would the water go?
it would flood out all over Mere Lane.
But it could be a different thing, couldn't it? It could be a thing that had holes in to allow the water to leak out, but not allow a person to access it or a child to access it.
It's got a pipe that goes into the lake.
But the pipe
Let the water in there.
But the pipe that goes into the lake keeps getting blocked because somebody takes it off and puts sticks down there. So I'm saying,
No, the pipe going down to the lake that gets blocked. It gets blocked because of roots growing up it and all that. And what happens is they then plug up, and if it's got an extra access point with more muck going down, it will just
It was
block.
cleared out last July.
I think
They spent a day down there, blasted it all out. It run for ages, and then it's just blocked up again.
Are we
okay, so
liable?
somebody's put a half brick in, so somebody is.
But that's come at this end.
I mean,
That didn't flow down the pipe.
No. I'm just concerned there's a safety issue around
Are we liable,
children.
Nick?
Well, I think we are, aren't we? It's on our land.
That's what worries me.
It's United
We're liable.
it
Utilities.
is.
So maybe we should write United Utilities.
I think United Utilities should be doing something with it if they think
We can't do anything to it. We can't alter it, fix it, do anything, because it's not ours to fix.
Well,
it's
absolutely,
United
yeah.
Utilities, so it's basically down to them to sort out. We can point out to them that there is an issue.
But we could put fencing around it.
But by the same token, if you put fencing around it, you're saying that yes, you are responsible.
Yeah.
If somebody comes and climbs over that fencing or whatever, does have an accident with that grid, we are then liable because we.
I don't think that's right. No,
It's
I
like
think
if you grit somewhere.
No, I think that's a different thing. I think if you put fencing and somebody hurts themselves climbing over the fence, that's their problem, not your problem.
I think the first approach is to speak to United Utilities, because at the end of the day, United Utilities, if it's their
They need access to it
responsibility,
anyway.
it's then for them to put a fence up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
But I'm not just suggesting.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
But I think we need to raise it with them as
We do.
a safety issue as well as just the constant problems that we have when Peter constantly going and doing things.
So
The drain that we're clearing out belongs to the parish council.
Yeah.
We're not clearing out the drain that belongs to United Utilities.
To my knowledge, that's been cleared out 4 times in the last 15 years, then including the one you two have just done.
I mean,
It's
it
done
was,
on the regular.
The last-
Sorry, the one you're clearing out is the one that goes under the path into the
yeah,
lake.
yeah.
Right.
Well, the other one goes under the path into the lake. Because if you go to the end of that one and look to the left, there's a white coloured pipe. That is the one that comes from that manhole. And there's hardly anything coming out of it.
So you're clearing the overflow,
Yeah.
and the one that's meant to be the actual one is blocked, but that's not ours.
That's not
And that has also.
Because they did
cleared
think that they
once
could
in the
perhaps
past.
get out into the lake and get at it from that end, but the lake had come up too high, so that was impossible. But the one that is the overflow has now all been dug out, the silt at the bottom, and it's now all stones. Thank you, Peter and Peter.
Very good, but I do think we should.
Yeah, United Utilities need to come and.
I think the first approach is to you.
The rest of that water that goes into that lake comes from the lake at the top. And that's a huge drop. So
It does
the force of that
the
water.
gullets as well.
Yeah.
They're all
Does
connected
does
to it.
pretty much everything from on top comes down through that.
All rainwater heads that way.
Yep.
Indeed. Okay.
For the orchards as well.
Possibly.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Chuck them dying and see where it goes.
So,
Plenty down that lake already, Peter.
so all the stuff from Red Lion down to Clover Drive goes into the small lake. And out the small lake into the big lake. So sometimes fire are done, sometimes not. Okay. And then we got the update from the councillor's surgery, which we will note. Lorraine, is that you?
Oh, sorry, yes. I was,
This is your moment, you've been waiting for this all night.
I was So basically we have two people. I'm not quite sure what Peter's person spoke about, but the person I spoke to, this is his ideas. He would like to know if we could set up perhaps some sort of system where we had a list of projects that we would like, that we think need doing in the village, village hall and other things, as on your notes, because he feels that there are residents that would be happy to donate to specific projects. So if you had a list of, and these are just examples because we were just chatting, like works to the interior here, or the kitchen, or making a storeroom, or making the outside better. He feels, because he wants to make a donation, but he would like to do it to specifics. So if we had, if the council put a list together, or just asked residents if there's anything they'd like in the village, that maybe we could get some donations. He feels that people would like to donate. He also said that he wanted to thank the council for how the village is looking. He's impressed with like Buttercup, and he's seen, and you in particular, when he saw you doing the gutters. It's not the gutters, what are those things? Curbs, when you were clearing the curbs.
I don't think I was doing any work on the highway.
Oh no, you were just
was with someone who looked quite a lot like me.
You won't get there.
Yeah, but he was he's impressed, with the playground, and he said, and the sea, he said the village is beginning to look so much better. And he wanted to thank the council for that. He said it's getting back to how it was, and he was really upbeat about it, and about the council. He thinks they're doing a good job, and he just thinks if we had some sort of list of projects that we were working towards. I mean, we need to finish the playground. There are things in here that need doing.
I suppose my thought on that, I think it's a good idea, would be if you got two Pickmere residents in a room, you'd have three opinions.
Yeah, so, but if you had a list of...
But why not do it the other way around? What is it he thinks he would like to fund?
He wants to fund what we want. But he wants to be able to... No. He wants to be, he's a genuinely good person. Obviously we can't say...
Well, obviously he said the council's doing a good job, so how can it be anything else?
But he wasn't fond of money going to the playground, and not everybody was. Yeah. Everybody's got an opinion, and that's great, but he would like, if he saw something that he thought was a good idea, he would like to donate towards it. So if we got some projects going...
Okay, we can make a list, for sure.
Just, and like he was saying, and he was quite right, you could get kids involved in sponsorships, running around the field 20 times and get everybody to sponsor the kids. It just feels that the village is starting to pull together.
Okay.
And he thought it's looking nicer.
Excellent.
Which is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
and he feels that we're doing something.
So maybe for the next meeting we can all think of potential projects, make a list.
I mean, there's all sorts in here. He said, he was talking, he said, we're going to buy some land, but I don't think that was that ever...
We tried to buy some ground land, they won't sell it. We did try to rent it, but then...
That's not the same,
Then the farmer moved on and they weren't sure what the next farmer wants to do.
And it's more about,
Bob, when the fella took over, he said, he's quite happy because half of the land they've taken off him anyway.
No?
Yeah. But things like that, and making more parking space, and we've talked about making a hub of the village hall in respect of, and we're getting so much more. We've got another exercise class starting next week.
No, it's been a success story for sure.
But anyway, in particular, he wanted to thank the council for the work that's been going on.
Okay, thank you. So Peter, what's
Sorry, can I ask a question about that point? Is this an opportunity to get ideas from residents
Yeah, for sure.
about what ideas they think need done? To come up with a list. Doesn't mean we can do them all, but if we get ideas from residents
What would you
of
like
what,
to see in the
you know,
village?
and we could come up with a list guided by them.
Yeah,
okay?
I think
There's
it's
then
great.
potentially a lot of work to try and price all of those things to work out how much you need to raise,
Well,
but at least you can start with a...
And it'd be ongoing, wouldn't it? Because most things cost quite a bit of money, to be fair.
It's the Fork Road Bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's nice to have a target and to get things going, and for the village to think that we're actually working to try and sort some things out for them to make it better.
Okay.
I thought it was quite a good
I will
idea,
put
because
some-
he really wanted to donate. He said,
Donate for what?
towards a project. Because he said, I wanted to give the council. I said, well, it's not giving us, it's giving the village, and it's what the village
I will-
would benefit most from.
I'll put something on our Facebook page and
Thank you.
ask for a donation. I'll bring it to the next meeting, and
Yeah.
if we can get some rough costings before that, I'll do it.
Can we get it into Pickmere Press?
I guess so.
Has it gone? Has it gone?
No, not yet.
Hasn't it?
I'll
Delay.
put it on the Facebook page and get it into Pickmere Press.
Okay, not to go for Pickmere Press.
So Peter, what did your visitor say?
Oh, well, I had several visitors actually.
No, just
Yes, I did. And
What, in here?
no,
Oh, sorry.
so we're talking about the people that came here. We're not talking about anyone who popped round to your place for tea.
you came to see me earlier in the afternoon. Justification of the preset rise was one thing, and justification about the camera, the new locks, and spending preset money on those sorts of things. The justification for what has been proposed of the car parking at the lake, charging for car parking, how much that will cost the parish council, as to whether it will pay for a warden that was talked about,
Okay.
how that works out. And again, yellow lines, residents would like to see what's being proposed and how it's going to work.
Well, if you park on a double yellow line, you'll get a ticket. That's no experience.
Doesn't seem to happen with the restrictions that we've got in the
Well, it
village at the
doesn't. In
moment.
fact, it doesn't on a sunny day, and
Yeah.
they feel quite keen about coming down and
Yeah.
ticketing in Pickmere.
Well, we've had it previously where they've come down and only had a book of 10 tickets.
No, that's the police.
It is the place. It's
Right.
not.
Cheshire East are much better.
Police won't be ticketing double yellows, they'll only ticket for offences, won't they?
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Any more?
Oh yes, pages are there. There seems to be no lack of progress on lake issues since this parish council came into office, and there's worry that the rising crime nationally could spill over to Pickmere, especially on hot, sunny, busy days. There's a talk in villages or neighbouring villages as well about the party field potentially being for sale, as to if a farmer buys that, about fencing the land off to stop people accessing the land, how that will affect Pickmere.
Okay. So that was, maybe take that one. So that was reported from a Police and Crime Commissioner meeting some time ago. So the land is in probate.
Right.
So nothing's happening anytime soon.
But the potential is that it will happen.
Yeah.
But
But Pickmere Parish Council won't
we
be doing
can't
anything
do
about
anything
that.
about
We have no power.
No, but it's, if that does happen, how that will affect Pickmere.
Yeah, well,
it will.
Yeah.
100%. I've said that.
Because you've talked about things at Police and Crime Commissioner in the past about one village not doing something that would have knock-on effects about the parking and everything else.
You can't stop an individual farmer though selling his land to another farmer.
I know.
So there's very little that Winching Parish Council can do, or Pickmere Parish
It's
Council
not
can
even
do.
in Winching.
Well, it's Marston.
Yeah.
But there's very little that a parish council could do if they want to sell it to another farmer.
And about the wildlife around the lake is under threat from bio-tourism, because people are still coming at night and swimming in the lake.
Well, I agree with that, totally.
All that sort of thing going on.
But we can't, there's nothing we can do because we've got a public right of way. I'd like to say we could, but...
And had another visitor, which I have scanned what I was given, and I've sent it to the clerk, and the clerk has sent it out to all
I'm
of
not saying
us.
that.
So again, that is a lot to do with what Nick was doing previously on.
Yeah, so it's relating to,
Yeah.
well, it's similar around large numbers of visitors, public right of way, and
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. Lovely. Okay. Again, and somebody else also is about security camera at the village hall. What's the driver for spending preset when this council is actually in deficit and the precept is being increased? And of course, as you know, it was from the coordinator of the Neighbourhood Watch that there have been no reports of incidents or reported crime. So what's the justification for spending the precept on this?
Safety to people.
I thought I would have thought the Neighbourhood Watch person would, it's acting, it's what word I'm looking for.
It's from a point of
Proactive.
Proactive, I mean, you
So, but the Neighbourhood Watch, they have these raffles for doorbells and they give them to people who've never been burgled.
There's nobody going to...
Why don't they do that?
Well, they're saying there's nobody being burgled or anything here, but from my point of view, when we leave this building, and I've said this to you, when we leave this building at 7:30 at night, it's actually a safety issue to people who are actually going out of the building.
I think it's the camera.
Pardon?
What was the justification of having the camera?
No, you wouldn't.
We're not talking about
I'm
lights.
not talking about lights.
She's modelling it
Well,
up.
I mean, it's the same for the camera, so people leaving in the dark, the deterrent of that, as we expect. I think, for me, I mean, I'd be interested to know what you said to these people, but these decisions were made democratically by the elected council in their meeting. We have done everything we can to be transparent. There are reports online, the discussion can be seen, so I don't know what more justification they want, but if they feel that the democratic process has not been followed, then I suggest they write to the monitoring officer. I assume that's what you told them?
Well, I told them I'd bring up their concerns.
Okay. But I think, when we've made decisions and it's online, you can't then come and say, can I have the justification because it was done in the meeting?
I think people can come back to it and ask the question again. But that's the nature of what we're doing. People, if they do want to come back and ask the question, they can do.
Okay, but then we
have
refer
an
them
answer
to
for
the
them,
information that's available.
but we still are allowed to come back and ask those questions.
But they're asking the question of why we're doing these things when we're actually running a deficit. Why we're spending the precept and putting the precept up.
Have you actually explained how much the precept is? In the fact that it's about, for the dearest band age, is that £7 a year extra? A year extra.
I mean, it's absolutely nothing.
But people don't perceive
It's not
it as
just the £7 a year, is it? It's then the Cheshire East are putting it up, the Police and Crime Commissioners are putting it up.
Well, if
Gas,
you're old,
electricity,
that tells you.
it's just
I get that.
that last little bit could just be the straw that breaks the
I
camel's back.
totally get that.
All our costs are going up, Peter, aren't they?
Oh yeah, everything.
we're sort of discussing something here. These are reports back,
Yeah.
and we're all discussing the same point here. I don't see where we're going with this. We've had the report.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, that's a report of what people think or
Yeah.
feel, so.
No, but I think it is important, and we as councillors, when we're asked questions like this, that people explain, or councillors explain, that we went through the democratic process. Everyone was in the meeting, you know the points that were raised, you can refer them to the reports, you can refer them to the video, because all we get is this festering of things that, people are not happy with this. People, as I said, you get 2 people from Pickmere in a room, you'll have 5 opinions, and no one's going to be happy about any decision we make. But we're elected to make decisions, and we do the best with the money that we have. We're running a deficit. It's not our fault we're running a deficit. We inherited a deficit. I sound like the Labour Party. And, as you yourself, Peter, have made a valid point, when Pickmere Parish Council started off, we had no land. 1/4 of our precept is spent on our trees. We can't avoid it. But we're running a deficit. So, people like the IROS, they like the land at top of Clover Drive, they like Buttercup Way. It comes at a price. And at the moment, they're not paying the price. And I think, quibbling about £50 spent on increasing the safety of people who use this building and the safety of the building is not useful. If people want to come and suggest how we do it another way cheaper, I'd be very interested in hearing it. But it's very easy to criticise. It's much more difficult to make decisions and spend a limited budget.
I stand by what I said. I will donate £50 to the council to spend on what they like. I would prefer it to be a camera.
Okay. But then we're going to look at every decision we make. We're going to look at whether we should be giving this room free. Is that a good use of preset money yet when we're running at a deficit? People want to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
There's going to be very little going on. So,
I think it just points out that people are looking at everything, every decision.
Not everybody, but
Lots of
certainly
people are looking at decisions we're making as to whether we're using the precept in the best possible way.
and that's why we were voted onto the council, and that's the decision we made. And all I can say is, in 2 years' time, there'll be the opportunity for these people to not vote the people here back on if they decide to restand, and stand themselves and do it better than us. So, okay, I do agree again with Simon, maybe twice in one night. Let's park that and move on. So, can we agree the time and date of the next meeting, which is Thursday the 6th of March, 7:45, here in the Village Hall. Everybody happy with that?
What day? The 6th of March?
Yeah, exactly 28 days, 4 weeks from today. Okay.
While we're doing that, also council surgery.
Yeah, can we do it a bit earlier so we can set it? So I think then we can...
We did agree that it should be the last Tuesday of the month. Everything was organised for this last one.
Okay.
It was on New Year's. So,
Okay.
yes, we're supposed to do it, but we haven't.
So they were all organised up to December, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then not for this year, so...
So we'll need to see if we can resurrect that for the last Tuesday of the month, so we do get time to give people a chance to discuss.
Does that fit in with bookings? Say 6:30 till 7:30?
Yeah, I mean, I said I would let that lady know I spoke to Hazel when we were having the surgeries. I've emailed today. So if we stick to that, they will have their committee meetings not on the last Tuesday.
Of the month?
Yeah. I think they normally have it on the 1st,
Which
is what happened today on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, but they're really nice people. I'll just send them a message and say, look, we will stick to that, and you can do your.
Well, if we can
Stick to the last Tuesday. Yeah.
programme last Tuesday of every
Can I just
month.
raise one point? But about the last Tuesday, the problem I have with the last Tuesday is if something gets raised on the last Tuesday, you've then got 3 days to get it on the agenda for the meeting. Are we happy that's enough time?
Yeah.
Well, we could do it on the what's it one? The week before.
That's my only thought. Is it's not very much time then to.
Well, I think most of it won't need to go on the agenda. But if we had something that was
Just if they raised something that meant that we then had to do something that cost money, we'd then have to get prices and all of that done in 3 days to get it in by Friday to get it on the agenda for the next week.
But if
The last Tuesday one's very good in terms of it being on an easily identifiable slot, but it just makes it difficult. And then so potentially they talk to you about something and then you can't even talk about it in council for another 5 or 6 weeks. It just.
But we always do talk about it in council because we always have the review, like that you two did. You know, we feed back.
It can go on.
But if that generates a proposal, that proposal.
Yeah, well then it'll go to the next month.
Voted on for another month. I just wonder whether it's the best way to do
I
it.
don't think that matters. Yes, it will happen anyway. Yeah.
From a feedback, it would still have to go on to the next month.
But even if we had it next week, depending on what it is.
Okay,
The only thing that the report could have been issued to councillors prior
Yeah.
to the meeting that we wouldn't have had
So I
to
think-
Go through it. Yeah.
For me, that's the important thing is that I'm quite happy to read things and think on my feet. Other people like time to think about it. So I think every councillor should have the opportunity to read and digest.
Yeah, all this tonight is just sort of like new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for
it
some
won't happen
people
again.
that doesn't happen.
So that would make it the 25th of this month then,
Yeah.
for the next council.
But we
the next surgery.
Yeah.
But we do already have parish council meetings planned ahead for the year, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to plan ahead the same for council
Yeah.
surgeries,
Well, yeah.
just the same. So if we stick with the last Tuesday of the month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll send around, as Amanda did, a rota,
Yeah.
save the clerk doing it. So people can not vote, but volunteer to do it so we get.
I can't do March.
I won't schedule you for last. Okay, so meeting closed.